You got into the safety business because you wanted to protect people, but somewhere along the way, the job started controlling your time, your schedule, your priorities, even your income potential. What if the expertise you've built over the years in the field can give you something more? More freedom, more control, more ownership of your future. I'm Sheldon Primus, the author of 7 Steps to Starting a Profitable Safety Consulting Business and the host of the Safety Consultant Podcast, with more than 350 episodes helping safety professionals become consultants and grow their career. Consulting changed my life. In fact, I'm a full-time RVer, and one consulting contract paid for my home I live in today. Now, I help safety professionals build their own consulting practice through bi-weekly coaching calls, accountability, and personal guidance. But this program isn't for everyone. Start with the Consultant Readiness Audit at sheldon.coach.
What if everything we thought we knew about safety was just interference? From the host of the Rated R Safety Show and the founder of Safety FM comes the complete Signal Transmission Trilogy, now available in one powerful edition. Safety, in my opinion, the book that started the conversation. Safety Mutation, where the boundaries of culture, systems, and belief begin to break. And now, Safety Transmission, the final piece of the signal. For the first time, all 3 books are together in one volume. The Signal Transmission Trilogy, Complete Edition. This isn't just about compliance. It's about consciousness. It's about decoding the way we think, lead, and live, inside and outside the system. Whether you've been following the signal since the beginning or you're just now tuning in, this is the version to own. Search Signal Trilogy on Amazon or visit safetyfm.com to get your copy now.
This show is brought to you by Safety FM.
Warning! The following podcast contains adult language, adult content, weird and unusual stories that all happen to be true. We didn't start this war on safety, but we're going to fight that safety war and we're going to win it. Hello, this is Jim Polsel from Safety Wars. We took a little hiatus here because of the holidays, and I think most people know about our struggles here with a flood from Hurricane Ida earlier this fall. So we're back here. We're hoping to do some more regular broadcasts. Today we're going to have something a little bit different. We're going to cover today and our next broadcast on outreach training. Specifically today we're going to talk about marine terminals outreach training. A little bit of background here. OSHA has a number of outreach training programs. Construction industry, 10 and 30 hour. General industry, 10 and 30 hour. Maritime industry, and maritime includes 3 things: shipyards, longshoreman training, and marine terminals training. We're going to talk about marine terminals training, and there is also another one called disaster site worker training. That's either 7.5 hours or 15 hours. All the other training we have is either, like I said, 10 or 30 hours. And one of the biggest questions we always get is, how long does a 10-hour course take? The answer is 10 hours. Usually it's 2 5-hour days, but you're allowed to go up to 7.5 hours a day with all this training. And the same thing with any 30-hour class. It's 30 hours. That comes out to the fastest you can do it is 4 7.5-hour days. If you do it faster than that, you're going to get into trouble. So, for example, there's people who on probation and in some cases jail time because they either did not do the training for the right number of hours or just writing out fraudulent cards. We get those all the time, and we record those and send over the information to the authorities. So the question is this: you need to figure out where you are. Maritime training. You can either be in a shipyard, you can be a longshoreman, or you can be in a marine terminal. Shipyard is obvious. You have a ship and you're repairing it in a shipyard. You're building it, you're repairing it, what have you. Longshoring, that covers aboard vessels. So for shipyard, for example, OSHA has the 1915 standards, Part 1915. Longshoring, Part 1918. Marine terminals is Part 1917. And what is a marine terminal? It's not a oil terminal. It is an area where you are loading, unloading, moving, or handling other cargo from a ship or gear within a terminal into any land carrier. Holding things in a consolidation area, anything having to do with loading or unloading ships or anything with cargo, things of that nature. There's a legal definition for it. Now, some of the things with the outreach training program. I had this question come up today. My employees are qualified. They're all certified because they have an OSHA 30-hour card. In this case, it was construction. The problem here is this. A lot of jurisdictions, New York City being one of them, has a requirement that if you're working for the Department of Buildings, you need a 30-hour OSHA outreach training course. This is what the problem is. That's all fine and good that you need one for that. But the 30-hour certification or 10-hour or what have you is only an awareness level course. You're not actually certifying anybody in anything. It's an awareness level. So you can think 30 hours of awareness training? Yeah, 30 hours. We're going to go over what the elements are for maritime. Who is a maritime outreach trainer? Comes from the maritime industry and is an outreach trainer who goes through approximately 2 weeks of training from an OSHA outreach center. There are several of them throughout the country, and you meet certain education and some experience requirements. Now, the reason why this is not a quote-unquote certification course is that you have a lot of different options on what goes into a course. And being a trainer, you have to tailor-make those courses for your audience. So, for example, in maritime training, if you're dealing with one type of terminal, one type of crane, one type of activity, that may not apply to another terminal that you're dealing with. I'm just talking in real generalities here because it has to be tailor-made to what you're doing. So a good trainer will often, if you were given the opportunity, go in and evaluate exactly what's going on. Maybe a site visit, an audit, things of that nature. That goes into that. I had one shipping company in the New York and New Jersey area that needed some maritime training for marine terminals, and I said, well, what exactly are you doing? So they let me on the job. I went out and saw what was going on, and I said, okay, now I'm able to figure things out. What kind of accidents have you had here? What kind of incidents? You do a pre-interview type of thing. What you don't want to do is get into a situation where you design this course, you come to the facility, and nothing applies to what you're doing. You don't have the right overheads. Yeah, you make it work. It doesn't look good for you. It doesn't look good for the program with OSHA, and it leads to a very difficult class, and you'll probably have some people having trouble staying awake. I'm just saying that. All right, so we try to make this relevant to the people we're giving it to. This is one of the problems with an open enrollment course, where you're just inviting people essentially off the street, is that you really can't tailor-make that. So what goes into this type of training? You have a mandatory topic list, 7 hours. The first topic, for about 1 hour, is Introduction to OSHA. It's 1 hour, and if you ever get audited by OSHA, they're in there with a stopwatch. Now it's on a smartphone, I'm sure. And they time you on this. And the introduction level, and that used to be a lot more. Now it's only 1 hour. And you're discussing the rights and responsibility of the workers, the employers, and everybody involved in the workplace by federal law. You go into whistleblower protections, how to report things to OSHA, how to navigate the act and make it relevant to you. So in a 10-hour course, for example, that's much of a different, less in-depth focus than perhaps a 30-hour course, where you're going to want to go and maybe go into a little bit more depth, right, over later on in the electives section. And you also want to go and tailor-make this for your community. So, for example, if you're dealing with managers and supervisors, you can approach it from one point of view. If you're dealing with a worker, different point of view. There are mandatory overheads that you need to use and things that you have to cover. That's all on the OSHA website. Oh, and by the way, this is the latest stuff from OSHA as of December 9th, 2021. So this may change at any time. What else goes into mandatory topics? You have 2 hours of walking and working surfaces, 2 hours of personal protective equipment. Also, you have managing safety and health for 2 hours. And there's some leeway as to what you could cover on that. You could cover injury and illness prevention programs, I2P2, safety audits, accident prevention. You talk about management and employee involvement, accident investigations, worksite analysis, and hazard prevention. The next section is elective topics. And you have a whole bunch of topics to choose from. By my count, 7 topics. And you have to cover at least 2 of those topics for a minimum of 30 minutes per topic. And that's about 8 hours of it's 8 hours of training. And then you go into the ending 15 hours of training. You have the optional topics for the last 15 hours. And what you're dealing with is hot work, welding, right? Burning and cutting, material handling, bloodborne pathogens, machine guarding, ergonomics, and proper lifting techniques, and additional coverage on all other topics. So all of this goes into the course. There's a lot of paperwork. The trainer has to keep track of everybody who's taken the course, sign-in sheets, any quizzes. I always try to do a group photo so we could go out and figure out who actually was in the training later on. And all those cards, all of that info gets sent into OSHA, where you get cards within 90 days. And all of those cards have to go to the people getting the training. So an employer, for example, cannot hold on to that card and say, well, you're not getting the card. The employee has to get that card. The employer cannot play games with those cards. So, for example, there's computer programs out there that are used to change names on cards, and then they photocopy them. It's a major issue. You can't do stuff like this. You got to follow things by the book. And the OSHA training people, the OSHA outreach training people, are supposed to do this stuff. You don't want to be on the receiving end of an audit by OSHA, because that really isn't good, and if you foul up on your paperwork, you're going to have a problem. That's all I have for maritime training. And thank you for listening. This is Jim Polzel for Safety Wars. If you are interested in getting any of this training, contact us at jim@safetywars.com.
The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and its guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the company. Examples of analysis discussed within this podcast are only examples. They should not be utilized in the real world as the only solution available, as they are based only on very limited and dated open source information. Assumptions made within this analysis are not reflective of the position of the company. No part of this podcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, mechanical, electronic, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of the creator of the podcast, Jay Allen.
You got into the safety business because you wanted to protect people, but somewhere along the way, the job started controlling your time, your schedule, your priorities, even your income potential. What if the expertise you've built over the years in the field can give you something more? More freedom, more control, more ownership of your future. I'm Sheldon Primus, the author of 7 Steps to Starting a Profitable Safety Consulting Business and the host of the Safety Consultant Podcast, with more than 350 episodes helping safety professionals become consultants and grow their career. Consulting changed my life. In fact, I'm a full-time RVer, and one consulting contract paid for my home I live in today. Now, I help safety professionals build their own consulting practice through bi-weekly coaching calls, accountability, and personal guidance. But this program isn't for everyone. Start with the Consultant Readiness Audit at sheldon.coach.
What if everything we thought we knew about safety was just interference? From the host of the Rated R Safety Show and the founder of Safety FM comes the complete signal transmission trilogy, now available in one powerful edition. Safety, in my opinion, the book that started the conversation. Safety Mutation, where the boundaries of culture, systems, and belief begin to break. And now, Safety Transmission, the final piece of the signal. For the first time, all 3 books are together in one volume. The Signal Transmission Trilogy, Complete Edition. This isn't just about compliance. It's about consciousness. It's about decoding the way we think, lead, and live, inside and outside the system. Whether you've been following the signal since the beginning or you're just now tuning in, this is the version to own. Search Signal Trilogy on Amazon or visit safetyfm.com to get your copy now.